after 6 months, 8 months, or maybe 1 year, they get this experience that, okay, what it is like to work in a team, in an environment where deadlines are there and you have to meet those deadlines. So this is what we are giving. And what we want from the students is like, we are not charging anything. The first batch is absolutely free for all the students. And we just want everybody to just come here and show us the kind of commitment it would require to go on for 6 to 8 months every day, completing your backlogs if they are there after some time, and just hustling for 6 months to get yourself on a level. Like a very substantial increase will be there in your skill level after 6 months. So it will take a lot of effort as well. It is not easy to become job ready from scratch in 6 months. It is going to be hard, and it is going to be something that is worth it. You would need to be really committed to this program. You would really need a lot of time, a lot of effort from your side. And those people who would reach the other end and complete everything, they would actually be the people who would feel the difference. And about the information and everything is open source. If you're thinking that we are teaching something which is not available somewhere, it is not like that. You will find ample amount of tutorials about the languages, about the course that we are teaching, everything, with a lot of like world-class teachers, free teaching that on YouTube only. The thing that is the thing for which you should join this is the peer-based activities that we are trying to develop. You helping others and others helping you. It is very hard to complete a big journey alone. But when you have your friends around, when you sometimes your motivation goes down to somebody else is there to pull you. Somebody else might start later and then you might want to pull them. So that goes on, and covering the whole distance, whole journey with your friends and a group is easier. It is a little bit fun also, and you don't feel the hard part to be a torture or something. It's still a journey that with friends becomes easier. But anyways, it's going to be very intensive. That's what we want it to be. And yeah, so this is the main motive of all this, just to cover everything, provide mentorship, guidance, soft skills, everything as a package to the student, and within 6 to 8 months make them job ready, with interviews also, mock interviews. You guys will be even taking interviews of each other. So we would want you guys to become the part of everything, every activity that we are doing. We will be assigning the whole structure in which everybody will be accountable. The only issue is that when things are free or something, people might take it for granted that if we don't do it, we can still reap the benefits. It's not like going to be like that. Everything will be very accountable to the level that you will hold. You'll have some responsibilities that you have to fulfill. Maybe it is your turn in the week for you to drive some activities in your group, and then some other person has to do that. And everything will be recorded, everything will be assessed. All the assignments that are given to you will be checked by someone. We'll be seeing that you are doing all the questions, all the projects that we are asking you to make or not. And by this, we are trying to keep the group that is going forward with this to be a very committed group. Maybe you guys are having very different skill set when you're starting, but after some time, it is going to be that everybody is having a lot of information, a lot of skills at par to get them a decent job, a good job. So moving in that direction, just we are trying to put all the mock interviews every week, mentor sessions every week, guest sessions. A lot of guest people have also come. We have also requested some people from very high positions in top tech companies to come and deliver some experience. Just something like your colleges has called and has agreed to have this session, and I'm really thankful because this is going to help you guys a lot, and it helps us to reach out to people as well. Similarly, in our servers, we are calling multiple people to give experience to like impart whatever they know about the industry and how their experience has been on a certain topic. They can actually help a lot of students in that direction. So just summarizing it all, it's just about taking students in, giving them everything, removing all the blockers. There is nothing they have to actually have before. Just some the basic prerequisites would be that you are a little comfortable with coding or Python. If you know the basics, when we will start with the course, the basics would be required. If you don't know, we have already started recording some a primer course, like it's been going on for a week right now, and we have recorded the basics of Python, how things go on in Python, everything. We have a YouTube channel as well. You can search our name on YouTube and you'll get there. So I've taken some classes on sorting, binary search, hashing, but these are fundamental tools that are expected for students to know, because when we start with data structures and algorithms, we might not have much time to go on the fundamentals. So we thought that we first thought that we'll just keep it as a prerequisite that students have to complete. But then we thought that if we are giving everything and we are trying to pull out students from scratch, then let's cover that as well. So we have made a small primer course that is going on. Almost everything that you should know in Python and everything else is already being covered in that. But you can go through that. Maybe you have your own sources. Just come up prepared with Python, because we'll be taking classes in Python only for data structures. For front end and back end, we'll be teaching all everything mostly in JavaScript, because we thought about the trends that are going in most of the jobs. We would want to keep the technologies uh, which are actually in trend right now, which would widen the spectrum of jobs that you can have. So in that direction, we chose these particular technologies like JavaScript. Then in front end, we are going in the React, Node, then some system design, computer fundamentals, data structures will be covered in Python and everything like that. We are covering different technologies just to have a very wide range of jobs that you can apply for and you can be eligible for. So just in that sense, we are covering all these things. That's mainly it. That's mainly what is required from your side, just some commitment. And you can watch some videos from our YouTube channel. You can subscribe that. There's nothing in the knowledge that we are imparting. It is not something that we would want to monetize on and keep it secret, that only people who are going to pay will get the benefits. Everything as a knowledge is absolutely open source. All the things that students are developing, all our website, all the code that you guys will be making, all the projects, everything will be open source, will be available for everybody to see and verify if you guys are doing something or not. But the only thing is that we are trying to make a peer-based learning system. It is a little hard to crack, and we are trying to crack this thing, that students helping other students and working in groups and reaching to the common goal together. This is the complete direction in which we are trying to move right now. So yeah, that's mainly it. I am open to any questions or concerns if anyone has. I'll take some questions if you guys have anything to ask.
Sir, I was thinking of earning by making my own website. Today I
Uh-huh.
tried it, but the first difficulty came. What should be the content? What should I do on that
Mhm.
website? So
Okay.
I thought of affiliate marketing.
Affiliated marketing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And your doubt,
So
I'm not getting the problem with the is that you're not understanding the content that is going, or you're not understanding what how to make the website.
no, sir. I have created it from Google Sites.
Okay.
Finding content is very difficult, but why should the people buy products from my website? Because Amazon is already there to give products, and they will buy it from by me.
Right. Right.
But in the
Correct.
business
Correct.
world, everybody is thinking of that he will give the best amount to the customer
Mhm.
at the lowest price than the others.
Right. Right. Yep. Your question is towards certain startup side. I'll try to briefly answer this question. Uh, See, you see all these Xiaomi phones giving all those things that are you get used to get at a very high prices. Now the prices have been substantially low, and they have been able to pull this off at a very large scale, that everything that other companies cannot afford to sell at, let's say, 100 rupees, big brands from China and other big brands are trying to sell that at same thing at around 60 rupees, 70 rupees. For a shopkeeper, it might be very loss. Like it's going to be a big loss for them to actually sell at that price. But what's happening is that since they have developed big systems, if they run on very small margins, they can cut through it. Sometimes they even take losses just to cover the market. Just if I can actually, if you sell something for 60,000 and your margin, the profit out of 60,000 product is 100 rupees, maybe you'll not survive for the whole month if you are selling something like this, because it's going to be very less for you to sell, let's say 10 products or 20 products. But a company who's selling millions and billions, then this much margin would also cover everything. If they are able to make 100 rupees profit, but are able to do it at a scale, they would be able to make it. So that's the whole game that is going on. It is very hard to compete without any resources with the tech giants, like big giants like Flipkart, Amazon. They have backings and very good financial support system. Millions of dollars and a lot of money is going on for promotions and discounts, and they're driving big strategies. It is hard to actually develop that kind of system. Yeah, that's something as a challenge every startup faces. If you're thinking of building your own startup in this direction, this is a good challenge to pick up. And somehow things would work out if you are actually devoted to this. I think Flipkart also started by two or three employees of Amazon only. They left Amazon and made their own thing, and that's how everything started from there. But yeah, you can look into the startup journey in this sense only. If you have a very challenging problem instead in front of you, probably it is something in which you can invest your time and make a business out of it. If it is a very small issue that you would want to solve, probably some 100 people have already solved that and it's not worth solving. So work on this, I would say. I can't say much about it right now. Anyone else has anything to ask? About the course, about anything related to their career, any technology issues that they are facing, placements, anything, packages you would want to ask, how to build resumes, anything. If you have any doubts or about the course, just let me know or we can conclude.
If you're afraid to open your mics, you can even type your question in the chat. I'll take this.
Shikar, you just guide them how to prepare for how to start preparing, because some first year students have also joined the.
All right.
It is not that higher semester students are there. So just tell them, and moreover, the students are from computer engineering, I think. So you just guide them the specific thing that how they will go on, so that they can plan accordingly. Because in Jammu, Muni will agree with this, that the people are not much aware of the technologies. The students are, because now the online sessions are there, the students are much aware, but few students which are somewhere in the outskirts of Jammu, they are not aware of the things, that how to go about it.
Right.
What courses they should do. Fine, you are telling them that your organization is providing the courses, but just tell them how to clear their fundas, or how to be strong in some subject, so that they can do better projects, they can do better internships on which topics, or project development, project management, what sort of things, because entrepreneurship is also a one big issue these days, right? And moreover, it is a big demand.
Sure.
So
I'll
you
cover
just
this.
guide them to,
yeah.
Because how to participate in various hackathons, because nowadays Infosys, TCS, Wipro, they are not recruiting people like that. They are not coming to off campus, right? They are doing on online only. So just guide them what all courses they should do. I don't think the students much have much knowledge about GitHub also. So you just elaborate them few things about hacking, about cybersecurity, so that they can be something there. We should start keep from today onwards. That my students should keep thinking, yes, some hacker is there, hacker rank is there, some GitHub is there.
Right, right. Okay, so first thing is that I'll just briefly go about things that a person should be doing in first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So the first year is mainly to explore. Firstly, have some fun in college, because after some time you will have to focus more on your academics and something. But for the first year, at least, you should be in explorational mindset, that you would want to explore a lot of things about your college, how things are going, the new culture you're setting up in new environment and all. Try to see the kind of career paths that you can choose, and try to get a little bit of all the things that you can actually follow. So in tech side also, there are numerous opportunities. You can get into cybersecurity, you can get into front end, you can get into back end, you can get into n number of technologies and n number of things. But you should follow the one that actually suits you. Everybody is built differently, everybody has a different taste, different interests, and different aptitude to different things. So somebody might be really good with numbers and might not be very good with the, let's say, aesthetic sense or something. So a front end developer might not be the correct career path for them. Maybe they would want to go into data science, or maybe they would want to go into backend maybe. So different people would need different things first to try on different things. Maybe as an application developer in backend also, what kind of technologies would you want to become? An Android developer or an iOS developer, or just a simple plain old web developer? So there are different ways you can actually reach different things. First thing that I would want you guys is to, before getting into all this is something that you should start doing from today, is try to make your own LinkedIn account as soon as possible. Try to get active on that, and every day try to connect with as many people as possible, because your LinkedIn connectivity, someday you would want to post something and you would want to reach out to as many people as possible, and LinkedIn is going to be a very good tool. And there is a limit on to how many connections you can make in a day. So it has to become like a daily ritual for you, that you follow that every day, you connect to a lot of people, and then after some time you have some few thousands or maybe a lot of tens of thousands of connections. And when you want to reach out to people, maybe for a job or for something, you have that reach. It is utmost important in today's time that you have, at least in India, LinkedIn is a very good website to reach out to recruitment partners, any recruitment agent, HRs, and all those people. It is very important. This is when you are trying to look out for a job. Now coming to the part that how you prepare for a job. So in the second year, you should have some basic idea in what direction do you want to move. If you work really hard, whatever you want to do, it will take around 3 to 6 months to complete that. But an easygoing natural process will definitely take you around 1.5 year for you to get good in something, while maintaining a complete balance in life and having some time for you to have recreational activities as well. Whatever you want to do in your course time, in all those things, try to have some command over 1 or 2 languages. Choose one language. I think C, C++, Python, Java, all are good languages. Choose one. I started with C, then I went on to C++. My jobs are mainly focusing on Java, and now I'm working on Python as well. But changing your language for the first time seems like a big task. But as soon as you change from one language to the another, you realize that most of the languages are doing the same thing. Only the syntax is actually changing. So develop your comfort in switching languages. You will be doing that for your whole lifetime now. You'll have multiple languages to work on. So try to get comfortable in that sense. You don't have to be really just a master of one language or something. Try to be comfortable at least. One language you develop your expertise. Other languages you develop for basics, at least the basic part, that somebody says that I am doing a project in Python and you are good with C++ only. You shouldn't say no to him. Maybe you understand everything in C++ and then you would want to port that logic into a new language. That's one way to go with things, but you should be at least comfortable with the basics that you can now proceed with that language as well. So try to have command over one language. Try to see for the first year. I'm not expecting a lot of you guys to get mastery over something. Explore a lot and develop basic understanding of what language you have. So one language in which you can do basics like hashing, binary search, sorting, not the data structures part. Let it itna agar ho jaye, if you are able to do this much, that's good enough for the first year. For the second year, you should start getting serious. Now, you should start seeing yourself as somebody who's studying not because parents are telling you to study, not because your teachers are asking you to study, but you're studying because you want to become skilled and you would be interviewed, and on this basis you will get your career sorted, your life after college sorted. So it's getting important now. You should get a little serious about life as well, but your priorities should be a little defined. There is still room for exploration, but it has decreased to a certain extent. If you choose front end, then technologies like React and technologies like Angular you can explore if you are comfortable with that. There are ample amount of already made projects on YouTube. You just have to follow around 6 to 8 hours of videos, a full playlist that is going to show you what you have to install, what you have to write, the complete code for that. Everything is given there. Try to make some projects like this. More than that, if you are actually getting into competitive programming, if you would want to get into coding, good websites like Codeforces is there, Spodge is there. Also, Geeks for Geeks is very important. Try to follow that. Lead Code is very important. You can see that it's a very good website. In our course, we are also following Lead Code only. Lead Code is very good and is internationally very much famous for all the questions that they have. They have a very ample amount of questions in a very like segregated manner, and a lot of interviews have been. Interviewers also are following Lead Code worldwide, so it's a very good asset. You can use that. CodeChef is a very famous website, and HackerRank, HackerEarth, all are good websites. You can try and see where your taste lies. It's some of the other thing in these all these websites is different than each other. So you might like one, you might not like the other one. So see for yourself what you like or not. I personally would like the way Spoj, SPOJ, has questions, very concise questions and very nice questions it has. So I've done quite some questions on that. I tried a lot of platforms. What you can do is you can stick to one platform and try to cover and make a very good profile over that platform, so that you can write it in your resume that, okay, I have covered this kind of a rating. I have this kind of a rating in this platform. I am 5-star coder on CodeChef, something like this. If you are able to achieve something like this, this adds 1 star to your resume that, okay, this is a point of credibility. This is where we can draw trust on you, that you have done something in your life, something that you can show. Projects are super important. It is very hard for students to get internships. There is no hard and fast way to actually crack internship. There is no guaranteed way. It has a very big factor of luck that you have been able to do. Currently, a lot of people can suggest you about Naukri.com, or LinkedIn also is good for internships. Internship is also good for internships. But if you haven't developed any certain skill about web development or Android development or front-end development, some skill if you have, then you can get into internships faster. But it is highly possible that you might not get an internship. It is not the biggest factor in your resume that you have an internship or not. It adds some points to your resume, but you can definitely cover up those points in making good projects that you can show and you can deploy. Everything that you do, try put it on GitHub. GitHub is like a database for your code. You make any code, you store it as a file on your GitHub account. It is a repository for all the codes, and you can see what all changes you have done, what worked, what didn't work, so that that is a platform for somebody else to see your profile, and he can see what kind of codes you have been doing, what kind of projects you have been making. All the projects that you make, any web development project, any host side, anything that you make, try to deploy it on some server. There are free servers also, like Heroku or something. Try to explore new things. I would say that I was a very average student throughout my college. The only thing that worked for me is that I was a very curious person. I was always trying to see how this works, how that works, how would I turn my code into this thing, how would I write it in this language, how would it run on servers, what I would watch tutorials in time in while eating food just to enjoy or something. And this is the kind of curiosity you guys should also have. Whatever you're learning, if you're curious enough, you'll get ample amount of experience. But if you're not very much interested and you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, if you somehow pull it off, it will be hard for you to pull this off. I'm not saying that that is not a way. That is also a way. If you don't enjoy anything, you take it like up to karna hi karna hai. This is also one way of going through. But if you actually start enjoying it, like I enjoyed the process, and that's what worked for me. If it was just about focus and motivation and commitment, I might have not been able to get into any company or something. So have a good habit of trying to be very curious about things, learning new things. There is nothing that you can not get on YouTube. Almost everything is already there. Don't try to say that, okay, there is this XYZ website that has a really good course on C++, let me have it, and spending days on seeing how do you get it for free from your friends or asking your parents to pay for that. Most of the things you'll get on for rates, if at all, free. There can be some services that are really good and you would want to pay for that. That's one thing. But don't try to wait for the perfect resources to start. Don't try to see that only if I had that particular course, I would have made a big difference in my life. Don't go with this notion that, okay, this is how things are and I need better resources and I am bad because I don't have good teachers. It's not like that. It is never like that. You should understand that whatever resources you have are more than enough for you to get into any website, any big top tech company that you would want to go. Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, anything. Even if you didn't have your college as well, you could have gone into any website, any web-based company, product-based company, something like this. Don't think that you need more resources and you don't have that. You have all the exposure. Try to Google things out. How do you do this? How do you do that? How to do this? How to do that? Try to connect with a lot of people. The platform that we are making is for you to actually gain some exposure from people coming out from all over India. They're connecting over voice channels. They're active right now as well. All the time they're talking about something or the other. They're discussing our project, sometimes having fun, watching a movie together or something, sometimes sharing knowledge with each other. All those sessions are going on just because I feel that students can help each other out more. They have the time and the bandwidth to help each other out more and to gain from that. Both the people who are sharing their experiences are gaining something. So this is why you can actually learn from them as well. You can get onto a voice channel somewhere, maybe join some other communities, not just mine. Just try to look out for communities. It is not just that I would say get into this is the best thing. There are some other people who are actually running their own communities for something on the same lines, not the like just the way we are doing, but something really good also. You can try going on to those and seeing things. Try to be very good with the way you communicate with people. Your communication skills are something that are mostly lacking in most of the people who don't pay enough attention as to how to speak to people, how to be confident. They get very nervous in interviews. I failed in a row. I failed for around 30 to 40 interviews before I landed for my first job. Just because I didn't understand some of the nuances, how to actually communicate rightly. Even if I would know how to code, even if I knew the answer, there were some things that were that I now understand that I should have done. But in brief, what I would say is try to have mock interviews with your friends. Try to get, let's say that you did a topic. Now ask your friend to take an interview. And then after some time, you can take an interview. Why you taking an interview would gain some, you'll gain some experience in that as well, because when you're taking an interview, you are looking for the ways you can judge that person. Now, after that, when you're giving an interview, you know how that interviewer is thinking about this whole process. So it's very important that you get into habit, make a good culture in your college that you guys are helping each other out. The pandemic thing actually screwed up a little bit, because if you are connecting every day on offline basis and you can see each other out and then talk and have a very good ritual of meeting to each other and doing some questions, that would have really helped. It helps in developing the culture. There is more effort required from your side, more commitment required from your side to develop a culture of that sense online. But if you're able to do that, there's nothing more important than that. Try to have a very conducive environment with your friends. You're not competing कि यार इसकी job लगेगी तो मेरी नहीं लगेगी. Don't think in that direction कि यार मैं जल्दी जल्दी आगे कर लेता हूँ. I wouldn't help these people because if they also reach on the same level, I won't get the job. You're thinking about a very small race. Anybody who is capable enough and committed, if they don't know the information right now, they will somehow make it through. Okay, everybody will get to a good place who is committed and who's putting the effort. So never think like this, that I won't help my fellow classmates or batchmates just because if they get onto the same level, they would definitely beat me in some other domains and I won't get the job, they will get the job. This is not how it works. If you are getting good in something, always give it to other people, because I learned this when I started teaching. There is certain level of understanding of a concept when you understand it from a teacher. When you teach it to someone else, when you try to make it go through someone else's mind, there is a certain, there's a very different level of understanding that you must have. There is a very different level of skill that you must have. You must have a very deep understanding of the concept that, okay, this is how things are getting done. Because when you understand things and you don't have to explain it to someone else, if you miss 2 or 3 things here and there and you somehow get the gist of it, you get the picture, the big picture of what is happening here, you still say that I know it. But when you have to make someone else understand this whole process, that, okay, this is the algorithm and this is why this is being done, this is why this is being done, you have to be very prepared. You have to really understand the core of the problem, why this is there and why we are doing this step instead of that step, why we are doing the way we are doing. So helping others out really helps you as well. This is the skill that is required when you're giving the interviews. When you're trying to express yourself, what happens sometimes is that we fumble, we get nervous. A lot of students, I've taken interviews in Amazon as well. Some students who clear all the rounds do not get selected. At the end of all the rounds, all the interviews come together and have a call if we should take this student or not. And sometimes we discuss problems like this student knew the solution but couldn't explain or justify the solution. It looked like this student just crammed it up. And we have no proof that the student actually knew it or not. We gave him all the ample opportunities to explain it, but he couldn't explain it. And we had to say no to him, because we cannot have the doubt that he's capable enough to handle the situations and systems in Amazon or not. We would rather let a good student who couldn't justify that he has done things stay out of the system than to have someone who is not worth to have in the team get in the system. So in that sense, we would have to say no to a lot of people who do all the codes flawlessly as well. So getting good grasp of communication, how do you communicate, is very important as well. Start working on that. It might be very hard for you to, मतलब टूटी फूटी अंग्रेजी में जैसे हम बोलते हैं, बड़ी हंसी आती है, दोस्तों के साथ ऐसा लगता है यार क्या awkward क्यों हो रहे हो यार, अपनी देसी भाषा में बात कर, वो भी जरूरी है. बट getting setting up some ritual, यार 1 से 2 घंटा हम इंग्लिश में बात करते हैं, इंग्लिश मूवीज देखते हैं, एक दूसरे समझते हैं गलतियां क्या हो रही हैं. इफ यू हैव सम सॉफ्ट स्किल डेवलपमेंट tool or something that you can follow, maybe some YouTube lectures or something that we are doing in our server as well, you can use that. Something you have to have some specific time invested in this domain as well. It is very much required that you devote some time on this. Make your LinkedIn account, make your GitHub account, start learning everything from YouTube. There is everything that you might require already been documented by someone really good on YouTube already. So you can look into that, try to get things. Don't run out for things like there is this perfect course that I must get my hands on, and you're not able to find that, and you're thinking that let me wait for that. Don't go for all those things. Try to develop your own network. LinkedIn is a very good thing. Join communities in your college, in other colleges. Try to communicate and see what is happening. Code forces में हर एक week में एक coding competition होता है worldwide. Everybody is doing that. See where you lie. See how many people in your college are getting what kind of rank. See from different colleges what are they getting. In what college what kind of companies are getting. What are they doing differently than you? Are you doing better? Are you doing worse? Where do you lie? If you are serious, then you have to see all those things. And try to don't think it in the sense that you have to compete. Try to think what are the points that you should work on right now. I have my list of points that I have to work on right now. Get somebody who is elder to you, who has more experience to mentor you. I also have somebody who's 40 years of age. He's mentoring me right now. Everybody in every stage should have a mentor, I believe. And this is the kind of culture that I am also trying to have for the students. You also find your own mentor, maybe in the college, maybe on the server, somewhere. Just find somebody who has reached where you're trying to reach, and then ask, what did you do? What do you think I should do? Try to listen out to people and make your own big network, maybe on LinkedIn somewhere. Try to and be very active on LinkedIn. Try to show whatever you're doing, whatever you're making the progress. Try to connect with a lot of people, and don't shy away. I'm saying it is utmost important for you to develop a ritual every day when you wake up. Try to send around 70-80 connection requests, as many as you can. I think there is a daily limit that you cannot send more than that, and your connection circle has to be really large. It is going to help you today, tomorrow, or maybe after 2 or 3 years. It is going to help you. But when you would need that help, at that point of time, you cannot start building that connection, building that network. So you have to do it right now. If you do it right now, if you do it correctly, at the day you would require it, you will have the ample space that, okay, this is the message that I would want to share with everyone. This is the thing that I want to ask people out. Maybe a survey, or maybe you're starting your own thing, or maybe you're looking out for a job or something, you're posting something. You would need that connections. You would need to communicate with a lot of people, and see for a lot of, there are a lot of things that you can see. Try to see Upwork or some other freelancing websites, open source websites. I am pretty sure that most of you people might not be able to get some work right now, but try to figure out and do your own research. What it takes to develop a complete website, what it takes to work on Upwork in this department, what it takes to develop a good freelancing project, to have a good freelancing profile on some platform. कैसे करते हैं लोग, थोड़ा देख. हर बंदे, हर एक चीज का आंसर कहीं ना कहीं पड़ा हुआ है. If you are curious enough to follow, you will get the answers. Okay, either by somebody you are following, maybe some mentor, somebody can help you, or just on looking out and researching, you can get those things. So after second year, third year, you have to be absolutely sure in what direction you are moving. Most of your time in third year, like the third year, should be spent in like in the second year, second half, you should start developing on your projects and start preparing for interviews as well. Third year is basically to find good companies, good places where you can, after third year end, you start applying for companies, right? So in this year, you are developing your skills. Like skills to some extent have to be developed by the second year ends. After that, you're preparing for companies now. So there is a difference in preparing for companies and preparing your skills. You have to make sure that everything is in place. Your GitHub account is looking good. Your resume looks really good. Try to get your resume reviewed by 3 4 people and ask, what do you not like about this resume? Maybe I should change the style. Maybe the format is too bad. It is too old. It is too standard, or there's nothing good in your project, something like this. Try to get reviews from people and build a good resume. In third year, you should be very focused on the kind of jobs that you're looking for, the kind of projects it will take, the kind of things that you have to do. Then you start reaching out to people as well. You start reaching out on LinkedIn, Naukri.com. There are multiple platforms that you can reach out. But it will only work if you have done really good work. If you've done really good work, if you have developed a good LinkedIn network, what you can do is you start showing on your work and say that, okay, I'm a 5-star code chef programmer. I've done this project. I'm looking out for internship. I'm looking out for full-time work or something, whatever you're looking for. And you'll get that. You'll definitely get that. The only constraint is that you should have done all that. So doing that and get things will get sorted if you move in this direction and eventually get more focused with the years passing in your college life. The first year, I'm asking you to take it as chill as possible. Okay, just try to explore everything out, have fun, have the time of your life. It's some good time that you're having. Just be sincere enough that you're knowing what is happening around you, what people are doing, and have some basic knowledge of how code is written, how some language, develop some command over some language. Second year, if you're going on, you have some idea. Now you're still exploring, but now the exploration part has taken a sidestep. You have developed some, I would ask you to develop some niche, some interest right now, and try to work on that. Try to make some expertise by the second year end, that yeah, I am going to get into this domain only, maybe back end, maybe front end. For those things, I'm doing these kind of projects now. These are the kind of companies that I'm looking for. Try to see the kind of culture, try to do research, the kind of people. Everybody has given some interview somewhere or the other. Okay, if a person is getting selected, there are ample number of YouTube channels that you can find. What is asked in a Google interview, what did you get, how did you crack it, what are the things that are required. We are also calling some guest lectures for all those things, that if they have made it, what was asked to them, what do they think made the biggest impact in their journey, and everything like this. So you can look into that and get things sorted. But this is mostly it. In fourth year, by the fourth year, people are like, everybody who doesn't have a job is getting desperate. I remember my time when my fellow classmates and batchmates were getting jobs, and I was not able to find my job for like 1 or 2 months. It's a very harsh time for a student, but you have to stay strong and keep working on the things. You get rejected from an interview, try to learn from that. Some of the very important topics for interviews are computer fundamentals, operating systems, computer networking, and competitive coding or something would definitely be asked in any kind of interview. If you're going in front end, maybe a little bit less of programming would be asked, but more concepts about front end. Or they will be asking about what kind of portfolio have you made, what kind of websites have you made. They'll be asking questions like these more. But some level of like, you shouldn't develop too much niche right now, too much of dependency on one only skill. Try to know everything and try to develop some specialty in one thing. So one main thing and every side thing you should know. So try to have a very distributed approach, that okay, everything I know, but this is what I am mostly focused in my life, something like this. So go in that direction, and then hopefully everybody like would find a job. Everybody does, so don't worry too much about it. When that is happening, you're looking into the clock when your time will come and you'll get a job. But everybody eventually does, so don't worry. If you are true to your commitment, if you're true to your effort, and you're working day in and out for like some time, you will reach a good place. You will get the jobs that you are looking for. Whatever dream jobs that you're looking for, you will get to them. So don't worry. Anyone has any questions? If there are any questions in the chat, can someone tell me?
Yeah, so Aisha is asking, will your training be sufficient to get into a job?
Yes. If you are true to the, like, I'm asking you for a lot of commitment from your side for the next 6 to 8 months. If you are able to get that, you can get a very good job, and it will be sufficient for you to get job. That's what this whole course is all about. But this is not what the main thing about this course is about. We would want you to be job ready, but we wouldn't be like giving you jobs. So come here to learn, come here to get mentorship, come here to stay in touch with people from the industry. Don't think that this is to get a job. After 6 months, they will give me a job, something like this. How will we prepare for off-campus placements? So off-campus placements has always been a little tricky. On campus, you get a lot of things, and for off-campus things, whatever I'm telling, it is for off-campus only. I'm assuming that most people are applying outside also. So if you are applying outside, then it is utmost important that you have a lot of credibility in your resume. Okay, you have a lot of things that show that this, if this person has done this means that this person is good in this. How can you show that? You can show it by showing a lot of projects, good projects. Try to make a lot of good projects. There's a whole resource page that I've made in our server. You can go look out. There are so many YouTube tutorials that you can just look into that and follow that, and you'll get a good amount of knowledge how to build all those projects. So that should be good enough. Can first sem students join this course? Everyone can join this course. The commitment that it requires is to some certain extent, and you would definitely have to follow Python. If we are starting on with the questions and everything on 15th, the course and the guidance, everything will start from 10. So you should follow all the lectures that I have already recorded on YouTube for Python. If you don't know anything about Python, at least that much would be required. So get into that. Anyone else? Any ask question? How will we prepare for off-campus placement? This is done, right? So yeah. Any other questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask a question. If a student wants to work for the poor, for animals, and for the environment as well, if he is preparing to go for the MBA in marketing, next as he feels marketing is the best way to kickstart his company, is that the right decision for that person?
Yeah, you do your own research and think what kind of a skill you're trying to get. If you're not looking for a degree and you're trying to make an impact, you don't need a degree. If you're looking to get into a system where you know everything in and out and you want to get a job or you want to have that credibility with you, then you can get your MBA. But otherwise, there are ample things that you can just learn. If you just want to help people out, or if you want to help some initiative or something in that for social welfare you want to work, you don't need a degree. You can just learn it from YouTube, or you can learn it from the books. You can get it from the library as well. MBA is if you want to get into management and you want a good job in managerial roles, then you want to get into management in marketing and all those things. Otherwise, you can survive without the degree as well. It's fine.
Thank you, sir. So one more question. Sir, how can a first year student prepare himself to land a job, in Google, like companies Amazon and Flipkart, etc., or in large tech companies in India? What are the basics that person is needed to have? These kind of basic things he must go through.
Right. I'll briefly cover. This is a very good question and a very elaborate question that would take a lot of time for me to explain. There are two parts in the journey.
I must add to his question, or I must say that only for this motive only, I agreed with Munib that my students should get job in Amazon, Google, Flipkart, Mantra, so that they can be, they know. I think most students are from first year, and I think this time I planned for first year only, because I was thinking we should start from the first year. So
Right.
earlier in our college, the trend was from seventh to first. We forget first year. So when I came to this department, training and placement, so I thought I should change something. So we started first year to come first actually. So that's why mostly the students are from first year. And this is very nice question.
Right. So, what I can actually tell about this is there are two parts. Okay. One is how do you get an interview call? There is the whole process of getting an interview call. The second part is how to crack an interview. So, these are two major problems, and these two are very, they would require some elaborate explanation in how to get things. How do you get an interview call? You have to make your resume really good. You have to work and show that yes, you are worthy enough to get an interview call. How do you make that? You show by your projects. You show by reaching out to people that this is what I've done. The best way you can reach out to people on LinkedIn or somewhere is by telling them in the first message only what are your achievements. Your achievements can be that you are placed on this rank in some hackathon. You did this and that impacted in this is the kind of internship I have done. This is the kind of ranking. This is the number of questions I've solved on lead code or some other place. So all these things add up in showing that yes, you can be trusted and you can be referred to a good company. You are a good student. You are a good candidate that can take that job. So all those things will take you to the interview level. Okay, you will get a call for interview, and let's hope that you're getting a call. You accepted that call, and now you're sitting in the interview room waiting for the interviewer to come and ask you questions. You will have around 1 hour or 1.5 hour to do two questions in that interview, and that has to be very flawless. Interviewers in big companies are also not asking very hard questions, but they are expecting kind of a flawless execution. Your code has to be very clean. Your explanation has to be very clean in the sense that you don't make too much, you don't fumble up a lot. They're not going to ask you ultra hard questions because they are the best companies in the world. They want the best execution in medium level questions, not some execution in ultra hard level questions, because they would want you to have the clarity of thought, the clarity in explaining how you go with that question. I'll just come back in 1 second. Let me just switch on the tube light. It's getting dark. Yes. So all these things are very much required, and there are a lot of students who are getting. Don't think that only the people from IITs are getting into Google or something. Every college, people are getting into good places, but only those who are very committed to the process of. By the end of second year, third year, you should have ample amount of good projects. For good project, what it takes for making a good project is some time that you invest in learning the skills that would be required to build that project, then making that project. It's not like just finding some good project online and then spending some time and you will be able to make that project. That's not how it works. How it works is that you spend some time understanding how to develop this, how to do this, and then you start working on a project, make something for yourself. Try to see some very good YouTube videos are there on this, and somebody has already documented this. Try to read books, and they are also giving good examples of what a good project has to consist. It has to be something that can be validated by the interviewer. If it is having a front end or a UI, it is better because it can be validated by the interviewer within the interview. Nobody is going to check your C++ code and try to execute it in his or her compiler while taking the interview, but they'll have to trust it. Like, okay, this is okay. But if you have some place already deployed your code on a website, you've made your own website somewhere, and you can just give them the link, they can open it up and have fiddle around and see if it is good or not. And these projects are really good if they have some visualization, if it shows some clarity of concepts, it is a very good thing. So try to develop all those things. That's very much important to speak about in your interview. But with that, you should have a lot of command over your skills. So if it's front end, you should have command over your frameworks in JavaScript. If you have backend, then you have to have command over some command over the backend systems, but most commands are computer fundamentals and programming. You'll be asked a lot on the data structures. You'll be asked good questions about them. Why are we using a heap over here? Why are you using a stack or a queue over here? What is the time complexity? How can you reduce it? How can we do it without this? If you are given more preference to the memory than the time, how would you want to implement it? All those things are easy if you have spent some time and understanding things in depth. Nothing too hard that has been done or is required. You don't have to be very smart, very intelligent or something. If it was required, probably I wouldn't have made it. So it's very easy if you give enough time and commitment, and things are easier if you actually enjoy the whole process. I enjoyed the process, so I never thought I'm doing hard work. While if I think back, I was spending so many hours that yes, it qualifies for hard work, but it wasn't hard because I was enjoying the process. You won't feel it is hard work if you're scrolling Instagram all the day. It's not hard work, but you're spending all the time because you like that process, right? So that's why you are doing it. It's easy. It's fun for you. If programming or developing a skill is fun for you, it won't be hard work. But that kind of time is required for this. What is the importance of data scientist and how we can become data scientist? Okay, so data is getting more and more popular right now. It's a very good field. If a company has a lot of data, they would want it to be analyzed. For that, there are so many things that have to be done. If a new project or a feature they're launching, is it increasing their sales or not? Is it working? Is it not working? What are the numbers? From where in the demographics we are getting all the major attention? Is it from a certain age group? Is it from a certain gender? Is it for a certain college or something? Or what are the key points for which we should be strategizing our things, our following marketing processes? All that information is given by data science, how to analyze all the data that we have, how to analyze all the requests that we are getting, what kind of sense and patterns and trends we can recognize. So it's a very good field. If you enjoy that kind of work, you would want to get into that. Try to see if this is made for you. Do your own research in knowing what good platforms there are for this thing. Again, then I'm calling out YouTube again and again, because for me, whatever I've learned till this point, most of this has to be the contribution of few YouTubers and people who are putting videos. Because for me, I don't have the skill to how do I read a book. I don't read much books. I'm very bad at reading. So I used to follow all the lectures and everything on videos only. So it made things easier for me to understand in that sense. You can follow everything out. A lot of data scientists, and there are a lot of platforms that you have to follow. Tableau is a good tool that you must understand and see how it is working. Databases and database management is very important for those people who are getting into data science, because you have to manage a lot of data, right? So getting into data, maybe a little bit of big data also you should understand. Try to see and figure out if these things are working out for you and you have a knack for it or not. See this. Okay. 5th semester, but I, along with my friends, are finding it difficult to get an internship. So how can you guide me? Okay. As I said, getting an internship is much harder than getting a job, because a lot of people are not actually skilled enough when it's time for internship. First thing is that if you are not skilled enough, you will rarely find any internship. Even for free, people will not hire you, because if I have someone who's working for me for free, but he doesn't know anything, all he would take is time from my side for me to train that person. There are very less people who would want to train someone and then take out the work from them. But most of the companies would want people who would already know a few things. So some good common things that a lot of companies are looking for is web development. Everybody wants to make a website. So web development, if you know, if you can become a full stack developer. That's really going to help you a lot. If you can become a front end developer who can like kind of act as a full stack, that also works. So that's something that can really help you get your jobs. If your only skill is competitive programming, you will find it hard to get an internship because you don't have a lot of time in an internship to actually first learn and then contribute. You are there for around 1 month or 2 months. If you take 1 month and 1 month salary for just learning things, and the next month you are able to contribute, let's say 10% or 5% of the time, it's not worth for the company. So they would want people who have already done. If you make a few websites on your own and then deploy them somewhere and put the links in your profile or your resume, that will help you to get more internships. Everybody is looking for people who are already like they've already pumped up things and they're already like kickstart. They don't need a push from the back to initiate them. They're already self-started, self-motivated, have already proven their skill. So try to do that. Uh, it will take some time for you to build your own websites. There are ample number of resources that you can follow, some good tutorials that you can follow and make your own websites. All it takes is a week for you to build maybe 2 or 3 websites, not just more than that. If you spend good enough time learning those skills and making those websites, 1 week, there's this person in our server who makes a website, a clone of a website that is running somewhere, small website, not a big website doing that has just 1 or 2 functionalities in just 1 or 2 hours, maximum 3 hours. So that's how good he is, and you can become that too as well. So keep on working on that. You'll definitely get to understand what is required to do that. Since I am from mechanical engineering background, how much effort will it take to get hands-on programming languages? Okay. Yes, it will be a little bit harder. Maybe if you think that computer science students have some advantage because they have some subjects that are already aiding them in their experience in this department, it's not going to be a very big difference, if at all. If it actually counts somewhere, you can definitely do this. Some people, even without having any college degree, would reach out to Google or some places. So don't think that this is going to make a big difference. If you have the amount of time that is required, then you can do. See, if being in good companies and making this whole initiative, reaching out to people, I have confidence on this, that if you do 6 to 8 months with us, you will get to wherever you want. I wouldn't be looking into your streams, right? If you're able to do that much of effort, I'm saying that I would be pretty sure that you would reach to a level that you have those jobs. So you can have that experience as well, even if you don't come to the server that we are running or something. If you do things for yourself and spend time on your goals every day, in and out, like around 2 to 3 hours at least, 3-4 hours on this from second year and onwards, it is going to help a lot. So know where you're trying to go, give ample time, invest ample time in learning things and honing skills. And any kind of thing that you think other people have as an advantage, you can cover it up with more work, with more focus. So it's not about how much you have as an advantage or how much other people have as an advantage. It is possible. It is easy enough if you're committed to it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, don't think somebody else might have some edge over this. Everybody, like even in computer science, some people will be feeling that there are people in their class who have started coding in their childhood. Some person is doing it in 8 standards, from 10 standards, somebody is doing it from 6 standard. Now people have already started as a common trend to teach student coding from 6th class. So don't think about, you just concentrate on yourself. I have given you ample information to tell you that this is easy enough if you have commitment. It would be hard if you don't stay consistent. The only thing that you need to be considerate about is how much focus you're having, how much time you can put in, and things will work out. So don't worry about that. Okay, then There's this last question. I have one question. As the percentage of placement in computer science is high, what about civil branch? Qualities what qualities required for placements? Right. So in your college, I am not sure what kind of qualification is required. Some of the companies have some boundaries that only people from computer science background we want. Some people say that over computer science, information technology, and EC is good enough. Some people say that your percentage is good enough, and they don't actually care about the streams. And you'll find all kinds of companies with different kind of requirements. But mostly, if you are good enough and you have the projects, there will be ample amount of companies who would be ready to take you in if you have developed some skill and you have some proven record, some website, some project that you have made, some good profile over GitHub and lead code that you have made, something of to show people that yes, I have done things. If you put me in a system where I can start contributing, it wouldn't take too much of a time for me to get into things and start becoming a valuable resource for the company or something. So don't worry about that too much. On campus things, I'm not very sure. It depends upon your college. But off campus, things are pretty much the same. It will be somewhere or the other judged because that's how the market is right now. But if you have done good projects, good level of coding, and made some good things to show people out, nobody is going to say that just because you're from this branch, we cannot take you. There will be a lot of opportunities that you'll get. So don't worry about that. Oh, there are more questions I just saw. Reveal the YouTube channels you followed. I didn't follow any particular YouTube channel. I just used to see, okay, there is this person called as Ravindra Babu Ravula. His some of the computer fundamentals are very good. So you can watch that. Some of the semesters we had some subjects in computer networking and all those. He has very beautifully explained those things. So you can go to his channel and see those things. Some of the other channels like the New Boston is very good. The new Free Code Camp is also good. You can follow those channels, but don't go with the names right now. Try to figure out what is working out for you, what is not working out for you. It doesn't take more than 2 clicks for you to reach out to any other video and see if this person, what he's teaching, is making sense to you or
नमक
not.
के बिना बनाना फिर मैं ले लूँ. अच्छा मैंने खानी नहीं, खिचड़ी खाऊंगी.
Bhavna ma'am, you are okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. All right.
I think no more questions. We'll just.
Yeah, there's just 2 last questions. I'll take these 2 questions, and all the other questions, if you would want to ask, I am getting live most of the days on my YouTube channel or the server. I'm a lot of days on every now and then I come online and see the students. There are so many doubt solving sessions. If you would want to connect
share
with me,
your email ID on the chat box.
Right. I'll just take the last 2 questions and give a brief about this. Because I hadn't. Okay, you're saying that it is difficult for you because आपने computer science 11th-12th में नहीं पढ़ी थी and अब बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत हो रही है आपको. See, मैंने भी नहीं पढ़ी थी 11th-12th में. I was having engineering drawing as my additional subject. I didn't have any computer science as a subject. So if you think that is a disadvantage for you, don't think it like that. People who have no background can learn really well, and don't try to find reasons why you can't make the progress. Okay, don't try to get into that direction. Just move forward, look into things. If somebody has introduced you to coding in a very bad way, somehow you are not comfortable with it, it is just because you have not spent time on the basics and fundamentals. Spend some time. It is very easy stuff. Get on with a group of people who are working for the same thing. Try to help them out, try to get help from them, and things will work out. So don't think it is a big problem for you to understand about computers and computer fundamentals. It's just fine. Things will happen. Last question is, it is rare to get job in our state, and our state also prefers mainly the foreign state degree. Okay, to get the job. So what can we do after completing the degree? Because our parents thought that they get degree from this state and get easily job. Okay. Possible because got it. So first thing is that most of you guys will be actually moving out to like the tech hubs. Most of the jobs for technical departments, I would advise you to not be like, don't feel that you have to be localized in your state only. You don't have to be you don't think that you should stay in this particular area or something. If I get a good job in Bangalore, I would move on the day I get the job, and be ready to do that. Okay, don't think that you have to get a good job in this state only. You will get good jobs. Don't really think about that somebody is preferring some other states thing. There might be some biases, but as soon as you show good progress, if you have some websites that you have already made, if you have good projects that you have already made, all those things will count. You just have to work hard. Okay, don't think about all these things right now. You will get ample opportunities. Whatever you're thinking that you have as a disadvantage, and what do you do for that disadvantage? You just work. Okay, make a good program, make a good project, make good profiles, resume, work on your skills. It is my guarantee to you, you will get good jobs. Okay, don't stress too much about that thing. Don't think like these people will not take me in even if I am worthy of getting the job. This is not how things are. Okay, there is a bias because something is happening. Maybe they have had bad experience with some people from some XYZ university. It happens sometimes, and I'm not saying that what you're trying to say is true. Maybe it is true, or maybe it is not. I'm not sure about it. But I can absolutely guarantee you that from wherever and whatever background you come, whatever degree you have, if you have done the work, if you have the projects, if you have the resources, it might take the market to understand your worth in some while. Maybe it will take 6 months, 8 months, max to max 1 year for the market to actually understand that you have done a lot more than what we anticipated you, what we expected from you. But after that, you will get where you actually deserve to be. Okay, you will reach out to that place. Don't take too much stress on that. And for all the other things, I'll be there on my server as well. Let me just quickly post an invite link for you guys. If you would want to join this, you can copy this and 1 second, generate. Copy this. For the faculties who are here, if you are ever putting your link live on the YouTube channel, you can please put it over there as well. I just posted in this, maybe in the comments or maybe in the description, you can add this up. Anybody who would need any help, I would definitely help you. I'm always available on the server. Other people are always available. There are like, we have set a whole team of people, whole team of students who are ready to help others to onboard onto the system and work with them. So don't worry too much about it. There are a lot of people who would want to help you. Just get onto this and hopefully you'll get good jobs. All the best. Thank you. I think we can end right now. Vibha, Bhavna, ma'am,
Okay,
anyone?
thank you. It was really, your enlightening words will help my students to figure out what they want to do and how they want to do and why they want to do.
Right.
Thank you so much. Over to Vibha.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your guidance. And now we assume that students would have understood the importance of eradicating the gap between the academic education and the requirement of the industry. And they would be now more eager to answer or to get answers to the questions like why things happen, how things happen. And moreover, important learnings from this session would be like, always take your friends along with you while you are working to solve problems. And moreover, they would now be building connections through platforms such as LinkedIn and try to learn things through other platforms like Google and searching more through Google and learning through YouTube links, various other platforms available in the society, and also understanding the importance of English as a global language for communicating within the organizations, giving importance to their regional languages as well. So we hope that this session would be very beneficial for everybody of us understanding the importance of all the things discussed here. So thank you, sir, for your time, and thank you all for your presence.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Good evening. Ma'am, your mic is mute.
You're on
Thank
mute.
you, Puneet. Thank you, Kshitij. It was really a wonderful session. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
God bless
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good evening.